My name is Jordan, and I'm 31 years old. Today, I want to open up to you. I want to tell you my story. And please don't judge me too harshly if you think I'm wrong. The moment my life shattered sounded like a fork touching porcelain. Small, harmless, forgettable. Until my sister-in-law Emma got up. Her chair scraped the floor, sharp, violent, and every conversation at the table died mid-breath. I looked up, still holding my knife over a piece of chicken, and met her eyes. They weren't uncertain. They were decided. "Tell them," she said. My stomach dropped. "Emma, what are you talking about?" Her hand trembled as she pointed straight at me. "I'm pregnant," she said, voice cracking, just enough to sound real. "And it's his." The room froze. Not quiet, frozen. My wife Laura's fingers slipped from mine like I'd become something unclean. "What?" she whispered, her voice breaking in a way I had never heard before. I stood slowly. "That's not true. Emma, stop." But she didn't stop. "It happened at the mountain house," she cried, tears falling fast now. "That night, everyone was asleep. He came into my room." "No." My voice cut through hers, sharper than I intended. "That never happened." "Then why do I remember everything?" She shot back, shaking. "The gray shirt. The way you said you weren't happy with Laura." "I never said that." I turned to my wife. "Laura, you know me. And here's the moment that still haunts me." She hesitated. Just for a second, but it was enough to feel like a lifetime. "Jordan," her voice was barely there. "Tell me she's lying." "I'm telling you," I said, stepping toward her. "Look at me, please." She didn't. Her father stood up instead. "Get out." "Sir, this is insane." I said get out before I call the police. My chest tightened. "Laura, say something." Silence. Cold, final. I felt it then, not the accusation. The loss. I picked up my jacket with numb hands, my voice dropping to something I didn't recognize. "If you let me walk out that door like this," I said quietly, "there's no coming back." No one stopped me. And as the door closed behind me, I realized the truth wasn't what broke me. It was how quickly they chose not to hear it. The truth doesn't shout. It waits, quiet, patient, buried under lies until someone is desperate enough to dig it out. That someone was me. The motel room smelled like stale air and cheap detergent. I hadn't slept. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Laura's face, that hesitation, playing over and over like a punishment. So I stopped trying to sleep and started fighting back. Laptop open, phone in hand. I began with facts, because facts don't betray you. Call logs, every number, every message. Nothing. No Emma, no hidden contact, no late night confession twisted into guilt. "Good," I whispered to myself. "That's good." But it wasn't enough. It would never be enough for them. Next, location history. My hands trembled as I opened Google Maps. August, the mountain house. Every step I took, recorded. Kitchen, living room, bedroom, store with Laura. I zoomed in. Closer, closer. My chest tightened. I never went near Emma's room. Not once. I leaned back, exhaling shakily, and for a moment, just a moment, I felt something crack inside me. Relief. And then anger. "Why didn't you believe me?" I muttered, staring at Laura's name in my phone. I almost called. Almost. But then, buzz. Unknown number. "Stop digging. This is your only warning." My blood ran cold. This wasn't panic anymore. This was fear. I called a lawyer within the hour. "Tell me everything," he said calmly. When I finished, there was a pause. "Then, you're being set up." The words hit harder than the accusation itself. "Can you prove it?" I asked. "No," he said, "but we can destroy their lie." That evening, I found Philip, Emma's boyfriend, online. Scrolling through the smiling photos with Emma felt wrong, like watching actors after the curtain falls. Happy, carefree, fake. One post stopped me. "Big change is coming." Emma had commented, "Something even better." Better than what? My chest tightened again. This wasn't random. This was planned, and suddenly, the scariest thought of all settled in. What if I wasn't just accused? What if I was chosen? Truth doesn't beg to be believed. It proves itself. And when it does, it leaves no one untouched. The hospital called at 11:32 a.m. "Mr. Carter, we need you to come in." Alone. Alone. The word pressed into me like a bruise. "I'll be there," I said, already grabbing my keys. Hospitals have a way of making everything feel final. White walls, clean air, no place for lies to hide. A woman in scrubs met me at reception. Calm, professional. "Jordan?" she asked. I nodded. "Follow me." The office she led me into was small, too small for what I was about to hear. She closed the door gently. "Emma Monroe listed you as the father," she said, sitting across from me. "I know," I replied. My voice was steady, but it felt borrowed. "It's not true." She studied me for a moment, then opened a file. "We ran routine prenatal tests," she said. "There were inconsistencies." My pulse quickened. "What kind?" "Her blood type is O positive." I nodded. "And yours?" "AB negative." She wrote it down, looked up. "And your wife's?" "A positive." A pause. Then she set the pen down. "The fetus is B positive." I frowned. "And that means?" Her voice softened, but didn't waver. "It means you cannot be the father. Genetically impossible." For a second, I didn't feel relief. I felt empty. Like someone had just handed me the truth. "Too late. Are you sure?" I asked quietly. She met my eyes. "Science doesn't guess, Mr. Carter." Outside, the air hit my lungs like something new. I leaned against my car, my hands shaking, not from fear, but from the weight of it all. I told them, I whispered. I told them, but no one had listened. I called my lawyer. "We have proof," I said. A pause. Then his voice, sharper now, alive. "Good. Now we don't defend you anymore." "What do you mean?" "We wait," he said, "and let the truth burn its way through them." That afternoon, my phone rang. "Laura." I stared at the screen, then answered. "Jordan." Her voice was breaking. "The hospital. They said you can't be the father." Silence stretched between us. Then I said the only thing left. "I know. And here's the part no one prepares you for. When the truth finally comes out, it doesn't fix what was already broken. There's something cruel about the truth. It arrives late and still expects forgiveness." The confession didn't come to me first. It spread like fire. Emma told her parents, then Philip's family. Then, of all things, she posted an apology online and deleted it within the hour. Too late. I was sitting in the motel when my phone rang. Laura's father. I stared at the screen for a long time before answering. "Jordan." His voice was different now, smaller. "We made a mistake." A bitter smile pulled at my lips. "No," I said quietly. "You made a decision." Silence. "We'd like you to come to dinner," he added. "Talk as a family." Family. The word felt almost insulting. "I stopped being family the moment you threw me out," I replied and hung up. Her mother called next, crying. "I should have trusted you," she sobbed through voicemail. "Please give us a chance to fix this." I cut the conversation short by hanging up in the middle of what she was saying, because here's the truth no one wants to hear. Some things don't get fixed. That evening, Laura came. She stood outside the motel door like she didn't belong there. Maybe she didn't. "Jordan, please," she whispered when I opened it. "Can we talk?" I stepped aside. She walked in slowly, eyes red, hands shaking. "Emma told everything," she said. "Philip is the father." He pressured her. His family, his religion. She was scared. I let out a hollow breath. "So she chose me." Laura nodded, tears falling. "I was wrong," she said. "I should have believed you." I looked at her, really looked, and felt something break, not loudly, but completely. "Did you?" I asked quietly. She froze. "What?" "Even for a second," I said. "Did you believe me?" Her silence answered. That was it. Not the lie. Not the betrayal. That moment. "I can't unfeel that," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside me. You didn't just doubt me, Laura. You chose not to know me. She stepped closer. We can fix this. No, I cut in softly. We can't. And here's the hardest truth of all. Sometimes the apology comes, but the love is already gone. People think endings are loud. They're not. They're quiet, like a door closing behind someone who never comes back. The divorce took 12 minutes. That's all it took to erase 6 years. Do you understand the terms? The clerk asked without looking up. I do, I said. Laura stood beside me, fingers trembling over the pen. Jordan, she whispered, if there's even a chance. There isn't, I replied, not cold, just final. She signed. And just like that, we became strangers with a shared past. The apartment I moved into was small, empty, honest. No lies lived there, no voices twisting truth. Just silence and the sound of me rebuilding. Piece by piece. A week later, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I stared at it longer than I should have, then opened the message. I'm sorry, I ruined everything. Emma. I typed back once. No, you revealed everything. Then I blocked the number. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear it. That fork against porcelain. That moment, that choice, not hers, Laura's. And here's the question that stays with me. If love can collapse in a single second of doubt, was it ever strong enough to survive it all? Or was I the only one who believed it was real? Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.